You are now listening to Talk Your Jits podcast.
Well, welcome back to the Talk Your Jits podcast. This podcast is, as the name implies, all about jiu-jitsu. I am your host, Lamar Smith, and today's guest is a black belt who trains at All Heart Jiu-Jitsu, located in Saratoga, Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky Pike.
How you doing today, man?
Man, pretty good. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing good. Can't complain. Still here, living and kicking, so I'm doing good.
Right, got to be doing something right.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, first and foremost, like we said before, finally, we've been trying to record this episode for like a few weeks now.
Yeah.
But we were here.
So. Yeah, scheduling and this and that, but yeah, we made it work.
Yes, sir. Sure. So, well, man, let's get the ball rolling, man. Let's get the people what they want. So if you want to formally introduce yourself again, by all means, and let's hear that jiu-jitsu journey.
All right. Yeah, my name's Ricky Pike, and I'm doing jiu-jitsu since 2008. I got my black belt 2.5 years ago. I was looking at my I got it up on my wall over here, my certification. Yeah, so it's been a fun journey. As you're when you're in it, it's lots of ups and downs and little injury here and there. I've been blessed. I haven't been hurt really bad. The worst one really was playing with kids. I dislocated my kneecap playing with kids one day, and I had one on one foot, and then the other one was trying to take me down. So I had all that weight on one foot, and we were playing like the snake game or whatever. And he grabbed my leg and went to drive me down. When he did, he just pushed my kneecap right over, and I just fell over. I set the little 6-year-old down, and I fell over and right between them, and just laid there and going, "Oh, this might be it. I don't know." But that Friday, I was back in the gym, kind of limping around and trying to show stuff. People, no, they're yelling at me, telling me to sit down, and they want me to get hurt more. But I'm stubborn, so I push through. But yeah, it's been fun. I got to I've trained MMA fighters. I've traveled all over, I think 11 different states so far, cornering fights. I'm competed in the super fights and grappling, submission hunter. I've done summit grappling, a few others, just even at my age, I'll be 45 in July. So just have fun. I go out there. To me, it's about having fun and actually like, hey, I'm going to get out there and show my guys, okay, I ain't scared to get out there too, kind of, I guess some friends, I heard it like on the last thing, like kind of lead from the, from the front, I ain't going to ask you to do anything I'm not going to do. So,
right.
So, but I come out there, I have a Ric Flair robe. I come out there and I come out to the Ric Flair music, and it's fun because I get everybody out there hooing and stuff in the crowd, and it's just, it's just fun. It really is. I got to win my last match. Which was cool. Yeah, but it's been about 2 years now. It might be time for me to go ahead and step back on the mat and see what I can still do.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Never know, man. Never know.
Yeah, it's win or learn. That's I'll live by that, and that's what I teach my students. It's win or learn. If you, especially on jiu-jitsu wise, if I've had guys at tournaments and coaches come up to me, hey, I need we don't have nobody for your guy, but we got this guy. He's 10 pounds heavier. Or he's 2 years older. I'm like, go. I don't care. Because it's learning, at the end of the day, it's learning. Yeah. If he gets in, he's there, he's ready to go, he's learning, and I got a great group of people with me, and this is awesome because they want to learn and they want to and I can sit back and watch, and at the end of the class, like have somebody new, and then my guys all around them, like helping the new guys learn to, show them stuff like, okay, you can do this, you can do that, and they want to share, and it's just I'm blessed to have a great atmosphere to be able to teach and have people to teach to. So it's been fun.
Yeah, you can't beat that, man. Can't beat that. Like, atmosphere is a vital thing when it comes to finding a jiu-jitsu gym. And I can truly say from the gym that I grew under, it was like as soon as I walked in the door, I was like, oh yeah, this is home. Like I don't want to go nowhere else. And unfortunately, we had to close our school down last year, but yeah, from the time I stepped on the mats as a white belt to the time I got my black belt, I was under that same, I was at the same gym. And like I find it weird that there's not many people that can really say they do that. Be at the gym from the time they started training, from the time that they got their black belts. Because I've met people that's been in like 6 different schools and 5 different, like 6, 7 different instructors, and it's like, man, how do you establish a relationship with somebody when you're like constantly like leaving and everything like that? But yeah, so anyway, so being in the game for like 20 plus years, man, what has that been like? Because I've only been in it for 7, and I'm like, I'm not gonna say exhausted because it's so much, but 20 plus years is like it's crazy. It's like
Yeah, it's
life.
I mean, it's they say what is a lifestyle, but it's neat to see like the things come around and grow. I mean, when I first started, like, you know, like I'd have like hoists come in. Like I was training at a Hoist Gracie affiliate school, and when I first started, and so the hoist would come in, Rodrigo Gracie come in, we get to see him, and then like everybody else was, like blue belts, and like I think when I first started, I had 2 my instructor, and a couple of the instructors actually got their purple belt. So it was like, you know, I the young talent now really don't really realize how blessed they are, because now you can go like any city and there's multiple black belts, and
Yeah,
before you would have to travel hundreds of miles just to even see a purple or brown belt, and and your eyes would just get big and stuff, and still it does, like tell you a fun story. A friend of mine's gym. I like going. I like supporting. I like to support the community and and the good people. And and my friend of mine's gym. He's like, I got an open mat coming up. I said, well, I'll show up. And so like it's no gi, so they didn't know what I was or anything like that. That's my favorite time. It's like I'm just gonna show up.
yeah,
They don't know. I really don't want to know, because I'm like I'm a smaller guy. I'm like 5'7", 160 pounds. I want them smashing me through the mat, but I got there and nobody knew me, which was good, except for the coach, the instructor. And he was like, hey, Ricky, and they're kind of looking at me. And after my 5th roll, when I was rolling everybody, they stopped me. They stopped and surrounded me like, okay, who are you? What do you know? And like, and it was one of my best open mats I had personally, because like each person like come up to me and say, hey, can you help me with this? And I helped them work through this thing. And like each one, it was just like, this, that was, the like I said, one of the best ones, because I believe giving back. I was blessed with somebody was teaching me and showing me stuff, and I don't believe in like holding all my little secrets, in my little pocket. So I got this right here. I want to. I'll continue to grow. Even if they're not in my gym, if they just show up and want to cross train and stuff like that, I'm not going to hold stuff back because they train with somebody else or something like that. It's I don't like the politics, and there's no politics on the news. We don't need it
yeah.
in the
I know,
sport.
right? We don't need any sport.
leave it on TV and leave the sport and being pure, because that's the beauty of it. Because if you look, if once you step on the mat, you got all races, all creeds, all all levels of wealth. You got really rich guys and really poor people, and Democrats, Republicans, Independents, and all these different guys, and different Christians and Muslims and all kinds of different religions. All that's out the door. That's sitting on the, that's sitting in their car, and all they're there is all being good people to each other and learning, trying to learn the same thing and growing. And it's kind of, it's one of them, I kind of wish, the world was more like that. Hey, we, let's, you have your differences, and that's the beauty of who we are, having differences. But there's a time to come together and grow as a people too. And jiu-jitsu has that. And that's the beauty of, one of the beauties of it for sure, that I do love and continue to keep on and pushing myself to keep doing it for as long as my body holds up.
Yeah. And it's amazing, man. It's that jiu-jitsu is like that. Just kind of piggyback off what you're saying about different like cultures and stuff. Earlier last month, literally it has been a month. Dang, it's only been a month now. I was very, very fortunate enough to go down to Cali and see, our grandmaster Joe Moera get his ninth degree on his belt. And it's just, it was just like a culture shock seeing so many people on the mats that were like black belts, and just like what you were saying now, like it was like a 2-day seminar, and the first part of the seminar was done by Marco Hua. Now, people, if you don't know who Marco Hua is, I don't understand why you don't. But if you don't know, this is one of the guys who fought, early in the UFCs when it was still bare knuckle. Was it UFC 7? He won the title.
I think so.
Yeah. So, and this dude still moves like he's in the UFC. This guy's in his 60s, and he's putting us through the ringer, man, with combinations and flying knees and sprawling and push-ups and stuff like that. And I'm looking at this guy like, I don't think he realized he's 60 yet, because the way that he moves. But we go to take a group picture, and they're calling all the belt ranks up. Keep in mind, this is no-gi, so everyone is just like in rash guards and shorts or whatever. And then there's like all the white belts, all the white and blue belts stand up. And I'm looking around, I'm like, there's still a lot of people sit on the mats. And he's like, all the purples and browns. And I think maybe like 5 or 6 people got up. And I'm like, he's like, all the black belts. And everybody moved. I'm like, I did not realize there was like over 60 black belts for people who just got their black belts of 5th, 6th degree black belts are sitting in this room.
Wow.
And half of them do not speak English.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Sure.
We come together for this sport, man. And my instructor talked about this all the time, where he keeps in contact with I guess you want to say he's a training partner, but he's in our family. He doesn't speak English, but they talk through Google Translate. But we all speak the language of jiu-jitsu. And I've had that experience before, but I really had it, that last month when I was helping a purple belt with a technique, and I'm talking like we're talking now, not realizing that this dude has his phone translating from Portuguese to English. And, I'm talking to him, asking him questions and stuff, and he'd be like, I was like, oh, snap, he don't speak English. But
that's cool, though, man.
He understood the language of jiu-jitsu, man. And it was just like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy that it happens that way.
Oh, yeah. I got to do a seminar with Superfoot Wallace before, and Bill Superfoot, middleweight champion back in the 70s and stuff like that, and before Chuck Norris won it, like he retired undefeated, and then Chuck Norris won the middleweight title, the karate championship and stuff like that, and it was a double seminar, man. Who was the other guy? It was a jiu-jitsu. I feel so bad. I'm blame farting on the jiu-jitsu guy because he's really, really like well known. But Superfoot, you were talking about being like in the 60s. Like I think he's like in his late 70s or 80s. Like he can still do the splits, like the full splits. Was sitting there, and it was so funny. Like it was a bunch of like karate black belts and stuff there, and and he was just sitting there and like, come on, y'all, get down. And they were trying to do splits, and they like, I can never done splits, and that ain't happening. But it was so funny to see all these karate black belts, and they're and he's in his he's got to be in his 80s now, and just amazing that he can still kick way up in the air above his head, and just absolutely amazing, And I got to another thought when I was thinking about what you said. I got to do last year. I went to a black belt seminar for the first time as a black belt, and it was 17, 18 black belts. Draculino was one of them, and it was weird because I'm always, so used to being sitting in the back in the, in the crowd, whatever. And like, all right, you come up. I'm like, no, you got to come up here too, Ricky. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. Let me get up here too, and being in the picture, like 17 black belts, and I'm one of them. But I look at it, so well, I'm just a baby black belt. I just got my black belt, it's just, it's humbling because if you, some people look at it like, I'm a black belt. There's black belt. Like, yeah, but there's black belts that have been training. There's been a black belt longer than I've trained,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the humbling spot of it, they've, as long as I've been training, but they've been a black belt as long as I've been training, and it's like, I tell everybody, I'm just a baby black belt. I'm on the bottom end of it. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm still want to, I don't know everything. I never claimed I know everything, but it's a humbling spot when you see a room full of black belts and they get all them, they're full of stripes.
Zebra stripes.
Yeah. And I'm like, there's nothing on mine. I got a little red, little red part on there, and that's it. And but I'm not worried about that. I'm just thankful for the journey and thankful for everything that's brought me. I've been able to actually went full time this year. So
congratulations!
3 months ago, I went full time. All I do is gym, and I do a little side work and I hustle. This day and age, you got to hustle, but
you got to.
But I was able to start day classes and stuff like that, and it's been fun. That's been a fun added to the journey. I've been teaching for a long time, but actually, like this being my job, it's been a learning curve there. But it's been fun so far. Everybody been in my gym has been real supportive and wanting, make sure we're not they're steadily bringing new people, and somebody comes in and they'll bring more people, that's making sure that, hey, I got enough money to take care of the bills, and which I told them, as long as I try to keep my prices down. I'm probably one of the cheapest around, because, I just won't make it affordable for people. I understand, I don't want people to try to pay car payments and, do I pay my jiu-jitsu or my car payment, or do my kids eat this week, or I'm gonna pay my jiu-jitsu? I'm like, I don't want to do that, but it's got to be a balance. So I got to be able to keep lights and food in my belly too, but I'm blessed for where I'm at, and it's a good community and stuff like that. So it's been fun. It really has on that learning process.
Yeah. And, just kind of going back, what you were saying about being a black belt, but you walk into a room and you're still the lower rank person in the room. It's like, so 2 instances where, like we're lining up to take pictures, and I'm like, dang, I'm used to sitting in the back. Like I said, sitting in the back. I'm in the front row, and it's just like if you go under like Tomaselli's page on Instagram or Joe Moera's page, and you'll if you go back and like look at some of the pictures and stuff, I'm in the front. Like I got my phone and camera, like I'm a new white belt, just recording everything. But yeah, like a few weeks ago, we had Grandmaster Joe. He was doing a seminar at an affiliate school here, and I'm used to we line up against the wall by rank. So me and my training partner, we both got our black belts on at the same time. So we're standing there, somebody else walk in, so we shift down, and then a brown belt walk in, we shift down again, and then we're like, he's about to get ready to start, and Grandmaster was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, I have my phone out like I usually do. So I'm thinking, am I not supposed to record now? He's like, no, you stand up here now. You stand up here now. And I'm like, oh snap! Been invited. Because I'm like, I'm so used to standing back here looking this way, looking at this way from at Joe. Now I'm standing on the side of him with my phone out, recording on on the same side as him, and it's still like a big surprise to me. Like, dang, dude, like I've been around, been blessed enough to be healthy, to be able to see get my black belt, and I've seen someone get the the highest rank you can ever receive in jiu-jitsu. Met a metric ton of people from the podcast to that seminar, and all because of this one sport, man. It still blows my mind every single day. I think about it.
Oh, I imagine, yeah. It's a like I said, it's a humbling experience, being on the other side now, being like I'm in the front, and everybody, everybody builds you up around you. Yeah, you're the greatest. The guy I rent for building from, he's named is Connie. He's awesome. I have a room above a fitness center, so we got weights downstairs, and they do all kinds of Taebo and all that kind of stuff. Then I got a huge 50 by 50 room that I rent above it. Is where my gym is.
Nice.
And so, it's real convenient. Like when I get done training at the end of the day, I go down after everybody else is gone. I go in there and then I lift weights and stuff like that because I got to do something to keep up with these young 19, 20-year-old, 200 pounds, 6'1". Like I don't know what they're feeding these kids nowadays, but they're strong, they're athletic.
Strong.
We had a whole group because we're right here. Where I'm at is like a little college town and stuff. There's a college here, and there's just a bunch of, jack young kids, and they're like 19, 20, 21. I was like, first of the year, January, I was like, I got to start back lifting weights because it ain't getting easier. I'm getting older. And I got my target as big as I am, is my target on my back because like we gotta get me. Everybody's, there's a few of them. There's one guy, JJ. I love JJ. When he first started, I'd catch him and he'd get mad, like fury, like mad at himself. All right, let's do it again, and we roll again, and I catch him again, and he get mad, and he would do it like we had to roll like 7 or 8 times in a row. Because he's like. And to this day, he still hadn't caught me yet, but he will. I mean, I told him, I said, "Oh, you're going to catch me." I said, "Oh, you're going to pass me." I say, "Y'all starting younger and y'all are more athletic." I said, "You're going to be better than I ever could be." And that's the best feeling in my world that, when you do achieve that. But he's still just like, he almost caught me the other day and he was like, I got you. And I just escaped. And he was like, he was so bad. He was furious. I can't say what he was saying to me, but on here, but it was hilarious. It was that passion and stuff, and wanting to do better, but yeah, I had to start lifting some weights and stuff, but yeah, Connie, every time I come down or I walk through the gym, whatever, and he'll have clients and stuff with him or something like that, and he'll look at it, that's the baddest man in here. He'll whoop anybody. He'll whoop anybody's butt. Blah blah blah. He just hypes me up and stuff every time. I laugh and smile at everybody and just keep walking. Constantly my hype man downstairs, like, yeah, he's the best. He's the best. He's the greatest.
Come on, man. I appreciate it, but don't say that too loud.
Yeah, he's great. I was like, yeah, you'll get me killed one day, Connie. Somebody gonna come in here and test me.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy. Like we have a couple of we have a couple blue belts. I think our under us, like our highest rank, we got like 2 purple belts. But we are 1 blue belt. He's been with us since he started jiu-jitsu, and there'll be a few classes where it'll just be him. It'll be me, my training partner who's a black belt, and him. So we like, all right, well, since you're here, what do you want to learn? So he'll get a private, and just to think of like how much he's improved in this short amount of time. And I'll always tell him, like, dude, it's okay that, you get caught in submissions or, from us. Obviously, I mean, it's not like you're, it's not a bark at you, but I'm not expecting you to like be able to submit me. You try, I give you, you when you catch me, you catch me. Like, but it's not like it's an everyday thing that you're able to submit me. But I was like, I promise you, if I was a blue belt with you right now, I would get smoked easily as a blue belt. Like if I was to be able to go back in time and say, hey, go roll me as a blue belt, I would get smoked out the water. No question about it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing because your students are supposed to be able to surpass you at some point.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're not getting to a point where you have to sit back and be like, all right, I gotta figure something out because I can't handle this kid no more. You're not doing so. You doing something wrong. Mm-hmm. You're doing something wrong. But I definitely love the evolution of the sport. Definitely, when you get to see students that grew up under you and they grow into something, way more than you can ever expect. It's a good feeling, man. It's really, really good feeling.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, when I first came down to I was living in Tennessee. I come down to Mississippi and was working with a group of, and for a little while, at first there, there's some of them show up, and then for a little while it was just me and my friend Will, and we called him Squirrel. Me and Will and Squirrel, and that was. And like it was like talking about, I said, okay, what we're going to work on, and we would sit there and drill, and then after like a month or so, the hell that Will started wiping the floor with everybody in the gym. They're like, "What's going on? I don't understand. How's Will doing so? Why is Will so good?" And like, because he comes and trains, and he's on the mat with me every time I'm here. He's here, wanting to learn, and it's awesome. He's still with me to this day. He's one of my purple belts. If he didn't have to take a little time, he'd be a brown belt, to be honest. But he's just because he's so good at growing and moving, and but he had, life happens, but he just now got back into it. Life happens. Well, I tell everybody, they're like, well, I couldn't miss him. Like, life happens, it is. Something's work or relationships or something, but but whatever you can do, try to work your way back, because the longer you stay off, the harder it is, and and get that motivation going back. But if you can keep up, like I know I had to work a bunch for a while several years ago. Like I was working like 80, 90 hours a week, 6 days a week, and it was killing me. But I would go every Sunday and do open mat. One of my friends, Jim, had like between 3 or 4 different gyms. They would have an open mat, so I'd go to the open mat every Sunday. That way, I keep doing a little bit, and that it was that busy time where I was working so many hours. I knew it wasn't going to keep going like that forever, but I didn't want to stop. At least trying to do a little bit,
Yeah.
Because a friend of mine told me years ago, he's a lot older than me. He said, Ricky, don't stop. He said, whatever you do, don't stop. Because once you stop, you can't get back what you're going to lose, because you're going to get older, you're going to get a little slower, and your timing is going to be a little off. And if you don't, you won't be able to get back to that point you were at. And
Yeah.
and I took that to heart. Like, okay, so I always try to push myself, and to keep on being better. And I'll roll, on jujitsu days. We do it. We do our day class. I usually roll about an hour during the day, and then we do we're getting ready for a tournament, so we like 30-40 minutes of technique. And my big thing is a gas tank. A lot of people, hey, they're amazing technique and they got awesome too, but they ain't got no gas tank.
No
And they
gas
get
tank.
tired. And and you can be the greatest in the world. And I've seen MMA fighters, on the big shows and little shows. And I've seen a guy take a guy down 7 times in the first round, just smash him. And then he want to quit on the stool on me. I said, no, you're not quitting on the stool. I say, you didn't want to put in the extra for the gas tank. I told you, I said, you gotta need it. I said, no, you're going out on your own shield on this one. You'll not learn better for the next one. And I pulled a stool out from under his butt and walked out of the cage, and he lost in the second round. And he learned a valuable lesson that he got back in there and he trained harder. And but gas tank that's the number one thing I see when people have trouble with. They like to play around, they want to roll a little bit, but you got to have, especially tournaments and stuff. If you're competing 4, 5, 6 times and no gi, and then 5, 6 times and gi, or even the super fights, like the super fights for me at black belt, it's a lot of them are like 10 minutes long. That's a pretty good long roll that, under the lights and all that kind of stuff. That's one of the rolls I like personally. I like taking people in deep water. You can catch me quick. You're going to get, you'll be all right. But if you let me take you in deep water, that's my game. There is outlast and wear you down and pressure and
wear you down. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my game. Just wear you down because and let you work and give me the bad positions I want. One of my coaches used to be a wrestler. He wrestled in high school and college. So a lot of some of my stuff is kind of based on wrestling and just pressure. And so mixing the jiu-jitsu and the wrestling together he did it really well. And so it was a good combination for me because like I said, I'm not the fastest, I ain't the strongest, but if I get a hold of you and hold you there and make you uncomfortable and give you spots, I'm good at that. I'm good at the pressure and using all my 160 something pounds to feel like I was at a seminar with my Hoist Gracie seminar a long time ago. My friend Shane Worley, he's a 250-pound ex-Navy diver, big barreled chested. He's a black belt now too. Huge guy. He's scary. He's one of them big guys. He's a black belt too. So and he's big as crud, so you can't get him off of you. And he's no stuff. So it's always been a fun role. But Hoist sit there and put just knee on belly. And he couldn't move. He couldn't get off of me. He looked down and he's like, now you know how everybody else feels. And everybody busted out laughing and stuff. But he couldn't get 180-pound Hoist off of him. Hoist just held him there and just, no, you ain't going.
Ain't going nowhere.
It was amazing when Hoist is the one that actually gave me my blue belt years and years ago. It was pretty cool. But seeing him go and go against my instructors and stuff and go, I'm going to do this, this, and this. He told him what they were going to do. I'm going to do this, this, and this. And you watch him roll, and he did this, this, and this, and tapped him. He would tell him the game plan. It was like, holy crap, that's can I get there one day?
Yeah, I know, right?
You know, like, is this possible? You know, I mean, I know he started when he was a baby, when, you know, Grandmaster Elio had him as a baby, you know, probably, you know, grappling with bears or something. I don't know, but but for real, it was amazing to see that, you know, see that that the you know, this sport has some levels. There's levels to this stuff, you know. And uh, one of my students, he just turned 16, but he's been a year in. Named Aiden. I call him a little phenom. He really is. If he hears this, he just gonna grin. But um, he's like a sponge. He wants to learn. He puts in the extra time. He ain't scared of nobody. He's like a 5'2", 115 pounds. Had some brand new like heavyweights come in, for like I said, on college guys. I turn around and he's hanging off the side of one of them, arm barring them, just sitting there and just tapping them. Like, it don't matter how big they are. If you come in, his goal is to tap you, and he's coming, and he's caught most of the gym now. Like, and he's of course like he's one of the smallest in the gym, but he has tapped about everybody in the gym at one time or another because he's so quick and good. But we did a seminar with Chewy a month or so ago. They had a Chewy Jiu-Jitsu tournament, and then the next day they had a seminar. So we did a seminar with Chewy, and that sucker looked at Chewy and say, "You want to roll?" Chewy's like, "Sure, okay." He looked at his time. He's like, "I got time," and so he rolled with Chewy, which was pretty cool.
That's dope.
And
That's
like,
dope.
and Chewy like, you know, let him roll, and like it was cool. It was, and I looked at Chewy and it just gained more respect for Chewy, you know, after meeting him and talking to him. He's such a good guy and down to earth. I see why his YouTube channel is so popular and stuff like that, because he's such a good guy. But like, I was like, well, thanks you for not hurting him. He says, no, it ain't about that. He just want to learn. He didn't do it in spite, you know. I was like, because back in the old day, if you challenge a black belt, like if you're a white belt and you walked up, or a blue belt, and you went up to a black belt and say, I want to roll, they're gonna break your stuff off.
Break your soul and spirit.
Yeah, they're gonna hurt you. They like, they took it as disrespect. Like even though that's, you probably come up and like, hey, I just want to learn to get better. I did that when I was in karate. I did that when I was in karate. I started doing Kyokushin karate when I was like 15. And I remember after like 2 or 3 years, I come up to my instructor and I was like, I want to spar. And he said, you think you can beat me now? I was like, no. I said, but I know it's going to make me better if I spar you, because you're so much better than me. And I had that same mindset too, as always, like, hey, and I got one kick on him. That was it. And then he beat the brakes off of me, but it was,
you got that one. You got that one.
I got my one, but, and that's what I wanted, and that's how I learn. Me personally, that's how I learn. You gonna beat me to death, that's how I'm gonna learn. Or if you catch me something, I'm one of the ones that I'll put myself, okay, let's roll again. I'm gonna put myself right in the same position again. Like, what are you doing, Ricky? I've had people say that. I'm like, I'm learning. You just keep tapping me, and I'm learning right now. I'm trying to figure out the little intricacies of this position and what you're doing. And then once I understand it, then I'm good. I just need to put myself back in this position, and like learning feet stuff and everything. There's some guys who are really, really good in the area that really are amazing with. So every time I roll with them, I just stick my feet up there. I'm like, here you go. I know this is what you want. Attack my feet. And if I can defend them, I know I can defend about anybody. It's like kind of thing in my thought process. So I learned how to defend and learn the defense. And in the live rolling situation.
Right.
And something else I do that a lot of people I know don't do. I don't have people think I'm crazy, because I ain't, like I said, I'm a smaller guy, but I don't mind, if I'll roll with 300 pounders, I'll roll with whoever, 300. I went over to Arkansas, and I don't know what they feed them guys in Arkansas, but man, they're strong. it's just country strong from here to there.
That
But
country strong, yeah.
they're big. And but I don't mind working, and I'll put myself in bad positions, and on my students I'll do the same thing until they step up. And and when I see them, they're progressing. Like, I don't need to put myself in bad position because they're gonna grab me on something. I'll stop then. But like when they first starting, I'm we're rolling, okay, because I look at it as I want to. If I never let them see a good position, they ain't gonna know what to do when they get there. They'll never know what to do when they have a good position. Like, well, I was there, but I don't know what to do. You hear that all the time. Like, you hear them in tournaments. Like, hey, you were there. You could have had an arm bar. You could have had this. I'm like, well, I didn't know it was there. So I always try to
Yeah.
I'll put myself in a bad position. Like, hey, I don't care. You can smash me. I'm gonna sit there and look at you and go, huh?
That's cute.
I've had bigger and stronger, and you'd have been on me. I ain't worried about that. And then I'll work out my way back out, and it works for me too. It just keeps my defense on point that I want. That's what I feel I'm really good at is my defenses. Because when I started, I was a small guy, and it was me and one other guy, and everybody else was like 190 and up. So I had to, and I had to learn to adjust my game. I wanted to like be strong, like everybody's like muscle, 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 and I tried, and one of the guys like, you know what I'm doing, Ricky? I'm like, So I'm waiting until you get tired. You trying to muscle me, and I got 50 pounds on you, and once you get tired, then I smash you. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then I adjusted. I'll use power when I need to, use the strength, for pressure, hold it right there, and then release when I need to. And that's just part of that journey of learning and adjusting as you grow and as you pick up stuff. And like I said, I love this sport. It's brought a lot of joy, and I'll be honest, I'd probably be in trouble if I didn't have it, because I don't, if I get angry or something like that, like when I was missing all that time, I was kind of angry or hangry, like sound, because I didn't have that release. I didn't have that, but with the gym and with, training, you can turn around and like take that bad energy and turn into a positive. I tell people all that all the time. If you got some negative stuff, if you got some bent up bad stuff in you, you need to work out. You get to the gym.
Yeah.
You lift some weights or get to the gym where you can do jiu-jitsu or MMA, and if you're having a really bad day and somebody's like, hey, put some gloves on, let's go, and let's go. Like, okay. And then you can swing and beat the hell at each other, and after you're done, you hug each other and like, okay, I feel better. All that bad energy is gone because I used it to get better and use it for that positive. And that's something I hope more people see, because there's a lot of people in some bad places, and dark places, and you hear about people doing things they shouldn't, and uh, I hope more people find this sport, that way they can have that avenue of positive people and positive atmosphere. Which they gotta make sure they get the right gym though. Like you said, when you were talking about your gym and you felt like home, that's way it should be, And and for your listeners, like if you're looking for a gym for sure, you need to make sure, check some out. Don't just go to the first one, go, okay, I'm here. Go to a couple of them, go try a couple of them out, because certain ones, everybody has their own goals. Like one person might be only doing fitness or just want to have fun and learn. And, hey, they might be in their 30s and like, I'm not worried about competing. I'm not worried about this. I ain't worried about that. Well, you don't want to go to a high level competition gym then, because all they're going to do is
Yeah.
You want to go to, one that's, kind of in between, they got, like for my gym, we're in between. If we want to compete, we'll compete. I said, like yesterday, we rolled about 50 minutes straight, 5-minute rolls, just about 40 seconds, about long enough for them to find a new person. And I'm just yelling out, swap, swap. And then they get somebody else and go. And if somebody falls out on me, then I'll jump in there and then I'll roll with them too. But yesterday everybody stayed in and stayed even numbers. So, or if they're odd numbers, I'll jump in and roll too. So, and put myself in the same heat.
Yeah, man. Like you said, it's your best place to lead is in the front, and I'm that same way, dude. Like, I would never tell my students nothing that I wouldn't do. I'll never get out there and say, oh, you need to go do this and do that. And I'm doing the complete opposite. Like, no, I'll get out there and roll with anybody. Like, I don't care if you are a visitor, if you're a student of mine, white, blue, purple, brown, I don't care what rank you are. If you say, hey, you want to roll? And I'll look at you. If especially you're a big guy, I'm like, I don't, but let's go.
Well, if it's super big guy, especially new, I'm putting them on their back. They ain't gonna be on top of me. I'm gonna put them on their back.
Yeah,
I love
the work. I love the work. I'm like, let's go, man. When you want to start? Oh, we can start from these. Perfect. All right, I got a shot. All right, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you gotta start on these right times because just don't have the room to somebody get landed on. We were doing stand up the other day. I did it myself. I was trying to take somebody down and I shot and I just kept on driving, trying to drive. Then I looked, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm halfway across the mat. I almost landed on somebody and I just stopped. I threw whoops, my bad. Then I got back over there and get all in the moment, But yeah, it's fun. I like seeing new people and I like seeing that's fun to me. Somebody brand new come in, they look at me and like, look at this old guy. He ain't got no hair. He's an old, decrepit little guy. And then we kind of get locked up, 50-50, one behind the head, one arm, and they try to push me. And I'm looking at them like, wait a minute. Like, and their eyes get real big and like,
he's not moving.
It's gonna be, wait a minute. Like, yeah, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've been in those situations where I'll see a guy and it's like, hey, big guy, let's see what happens. And I'm like, working my game. And then like I'm noticing like, all right, my duck under's not working. I can't break this guy grip. I can't do X, Y, Z. Yeah, it's about to be a long night. It's about to be a long night.
Like, well, let me get him tired. That's why I was like, when it gets like that,
right, let me get him tired.
Get tired. I had a guy, he was a fireman one time, and I've been thrown twice, like from the ground. This guy was a big old fireman, had shoulders wide as the damn door, and he bench pressed me straight in the air. And I was sitting there looking at him like, look at this. And when I landed, he kind of leaned up, and when he did, I grabbed his neck and just choked him real quick. I'm like, and I fell back on his back, I'm like, holy crap. But then another time, my friend Martwan, he was most athletic. Like he, like 6'3", 6'4", like 285, but he can like kip up and pure energy, got shoulders up here, just, he looks like just a big boy, big fat boy, but there's something underneath that fat, he's hilarious. But first time I rolled with him, he's sitting there and I got him in side control and then I just gable gripped and I just clamped down and it was the first time he ever felt that. And he kind of moved me a little bit and tried to move me and he was like, and he panicked and I went in the air 6 feet from him. Like he bench pressed me and threw me like WWE, how they kick out, you see the people, but they kind of helped push off, I didn't push off. He actually jacked my ass and threw me halfway across the room. And I'm like, and he was like, I'm sorry, Ricky. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's okay. That's first time and hopefully the last time it's ever happened. But yeah, but I've never seen other than like watching pro wrestling, like you said, like you kick out 1, 2, and they throw them across the dude with the big wrestler. Yeah. He did that, but I was holding on, and he checked me and threw me 6 foot from him. I swear to God, it was it
That's
was the most
hilarious.
craziest thing I ever seen. He was like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "It's okay. I'm not hurt. I got padding. I got now we got like we got 3 inches of padding on the mat, so we got 2 layers of mats, so make it a little extra.
Good.
I got wrestling mats on the bottom, and then I got 0 mats on top of the wrestling mat. So we got lots of padding. So
Oh yeah,
get
it's
slammed.
almost like a bed at this point.
Yeah,
You need some memory foam and some pillows, man. You be good to go.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, our wrestling mats were getting a little rough, and I got a really good deal on some 0 mats. So I put all new to me 0 mats to the whole gym, and I just put them on top. I was like, that's just extra padding, and so when you get slammed or hip toss or something, at least it's a little cushion than nothing. So I'd like to have one of the spring floors one time. That'd be cool to have. You ever trained on one of them where they get the tires or like them judo floors? They'll take a friend of mine he done in his, and he did a raised floor, and they put tires and stuff underneath there for like a spring floor. So like when you get thrown or something like that, you'll bounce. And
oh wow.
Yeah, you'll kind of bounce more than like when you're getting tossed with judo and stuff. You don't be slamming hard. I'm getting beepies. I've got to close Facebook. Where'd my mouse go? There you go. I sounded on my phone, but I forgot to cut Facebook off after you messaged me.
Right. That's what usually happens. Is like it happens all the time. Like I'll be sitting here making sure this is off, this is off, this is off. And as soon as I hit that record button, everything goes off at the same time. Never fails.
I have my own little podcast. I do, if you see it on my name there, anything is possible. And then I was on a paranormal podcast Friday night, and right in the middle of it, all of a sudden I got 2 cats, and they went to fighting right beside me. I'm like, in the middle of the podcast, I'm like, get away. y'all messing up the recording here. I guess they wanted attention or something. I don't know what in the world, but they went to crazy on me. Yeah, but it was funny. It was funny listening to it. I listened back on it. It was pretty funny here. We're just sitting there talking all of a sudden. I'm like, of course, we're talking paranormal stuff, so it's pretty funny on add to that too. But
yeah, man, good times, man, good times.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, but yeah, it's like I said. I know it's just amazing how much jiu-jitsu has took over my life. And at this point I'm about to start sounding like a broken record because I talk about it so much, but it's the truth, man. It's one of those things where it found me when it was supposed to. Just give you a deeper example. When I first started training at my school, my instructor was a brown belt, and he was kind of like giving me like a little history where he's been training and whatnot. And I think it was like maybe like a few months later, I was a 2-stripe white belt, and he was testing for his black belt. And I'm in culture shock at this point because I'm like, I would never thought that I would be seeing someone get their black belt, let alone being a part of someone's black belt. Mm-hmm. And this is like the first time I met Joe, now Grandmaster Joe Moera. I've seen him before. When they talked about the first UFCs and stuff like that, and just being able to meet him, and it's just like, man, it's almost like you meet a superstar, you meet a celebrity, and now it's like, and then now it's like fast forward, I can call him on my phone, and we'll send messages back and forth on Facebook, or we'll text, and it's like, this dude is a legend in the sport, someone who's been doing jiu-jitsu for like 60 plus years, and I can be like, hey, what you doing today? How's everything going?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very awesome, man. It's very awesome, and I this is like one thing in my life. I'm like, man, I'm so happy I found jiu-jitsu. Well, correction, I'm so happy jiu-jitsu found me. I'm put it that way. Because
Yeah, I'm the same. Back in '98, there was a karate tournament, but they had a grappling thing there too. And I remember I was doing karate then, and I signed. I was like, I want to do the grappling too. And my instructor got mad at me later. He was mad. He's like, he's proud of me, but he's like, we don't do that. We're karate. He was old school. Like we train in a church gym with concrete floors, and he'd come in there and cut the air off. He's like, I didn't have air in Japan. You're not gonna have air in here. So we die. Kind of stuff like that. Old school.
Oh,
but and but I got second place in my first like grappling tournament, and I'm like, man, I can just pure natural, just not knowing nothing, just pure natural ability. And I was like, man, I can do this. And then life happened. And then I finally, which I'm kind of glad I got in later, because them early guys, like in the early 2000s and late 90s, man, all of them were like kind of beat up. They're broken. Like I know a guy, he can't even punch all the way because he broke his arm, and so that's as far as he can punch. And they're all banged up. So I think I missed, because that's all they did was like, if somebody new come in, they would just beat you up to see if you would stay. That was it. That was what I was told. Like, and then of course you might have a blue belt instructor, and was teaching a bunch of white belts, and I said, and all they did was just trying to roll and beat each other up, kind of deal. So I'm kind of, in a way, I'm glad I got to wait a little longer, and then I took a class at one school in the area, and I liked it, and I was like, well, I ain't got the money right now. I'm gonna wait. And then, believe it or not, I was in a Baskin Robbins getting some. I was getting some ice cream in an ice cream shop. It's called Baskin Robbins, and we turn around and I seen a little flyer for a gym. I'm like, and I called him. Like, I just picked it up, called him. Oh, we're right here. We just moved to this new location. It was right there in that same strip, and I showed up during an open mat the day after Christmas. I come in there with my karate gi on, which got ripped to shreds. I showed up in my karate gi, and they ripped all them little strings because they were grabbing hold of it and just ripped my gi to hell. And I was like, man, I got beat up. This is cool. I'm gonna come back.
Right.
And that was, and then I guess the rest is history after that, because it really was. It's and then the journey began. Like you talking about, like all my life. Let me turn on my light there. That's like all pictures from my gym in background on my wall. That's all like pictures and stuff on the gym, and like it's like I got a whole room full of jiu-jitsu, just like I said, it's turned into, in my life that, that I'm known for now. It's pretty cool. It's if more people took the chance. I know it's scary, that especially first starting off, you hear people, well, I don't know what to do. Well, hell, none of us knew what to do when you first started.
I was like, that's perfect.
I would tell a guy, he's like, well, I don't know anything. I'm like, well, that's good. Your cup is empty.
Right.
It's better to have an empty cup than a cup full of bad ideas and bad technique and bad, everything. I said, that's good.
Yeah.
You don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
Just keep on and you will learn. All you do is mat time, and you'll get better. The more time you're doing the mat, and my guys, I got some of them. They're a testament to it. Back in December, I gave them their blue belt. That was I love that, because they were right before I did it. They were walking down the stairs in front of me, and they're talking to each other. I don't even think they realized I was behind them, and they were all talking like, yeah. Well, I don't know when we're gonna get it. Well, I ain't ready for no blue belt or nothing like that. I ain't that good. And I'm just laughing. I'm like, already got it at home. I got their blue belt sitting at home in a in a bag, waiting to bring it up there. And but they would, they would get there early. They will sit there and and I'm one of the ones like, hey, I'm blessed. I live like a half mile from my gym, so I don't have to far to travel and nothing like that. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to get extra work in, get your extra work in. So they would sit there and roll, after class. We cut off, like I said, we roll usually like every class we usually roll at least 30 minutes. And then they would sit there after class, rolling our 15, 20, 30 minutes afterwards. And they just kept on getting better and better. And we had a guy been out for a little bit just because of, life stuff. He was one of my blue belts too. And he rolled him with one of them guys. And he tapped him with tapped him with a buggy choke. He said, "What in the world?" I'm like, he said, how's this white belt catching me? I was like, he's been here training.
Right.
Yeah, he's been in here. And they've done tournaments and stuff like that, and it's great. That's the blessing on my side of things, is seeing somebody else bring that love and passion to it and want to get better. And if you always, me personally, is like, if I got the time, if you want to get better, and if you need me, I'm here, and I'm gonna help you get whatever I can do.
Yeah.
If I don't know something, I know people who do. I'm blessed on that side. I got many black belts and stuff like that, and some are different, got different styles. That's the other cool thing about jiu-jitsu. Like, everybody got their own style. Like, when I first started, I'm more choke orientated. I like, because I watched the thing Grandmaster Elio said, if somebody can fight with their broken arm or broken leg, but you put them to sleep, they're done.
That's it.
I always put in my back of my head, like, he's right. Like, so I focus on, I like chokes. And another guy I started with, he was armbar. Like, he loved, like, he'll snatch an armbar so fast. It's crazy how quick he can move his hips. And then the other guy, we started right there. We all started within like a 2-month period. And he was better. He liked the footlock stuff. And so it was amazing how, you can have one art and you can go so many different paths of what you like to do and have your own identity of your style. That's another beauty of the game. You don't have to go, I got to roll just like this person here. Like, no, you probably can't, because he's probably got a different body type. He's got a different, if you're 5'5" and you're trying to roll like a 6'5" person, that's not going to work.
No.
You can't. You got to adjust. And just like he can't roll like you, because you're if you're 5'5" and 160 pounds, then you can be fast and quick and move around, and he can't do that if he's 6'5" and 280. So you gotta base your game on you, and but it's a ever evolving sport, ever evolving just personal journey. And I always tell everybody, it's a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey.
It's a journey. Oh boy, is it a journey? Is it a journey? That's like me and my training partner. We've been training under the same school, same philosophy, everything since we both started in jiu-jitsu. But after so long, our games just kind of like, develop into something completely different. Even though we trained under the same instructor, there's been so many times that we and him would just go to the gym or stay after the gym and work on stuff and everything else. But after a while, he stuck to the gi. I transferred to no gi. And it's like, that's just something, this is a prime example. Like, everyone, no matter the fact that we learn in this sport, we're learning the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu, but eventually you're going to have to make it your own. I can show you every single technique and teach you everything I can, but everything is not going to work. And you have to accept that. You have to find what works for you. So
exactly. That's exactly. Yeah. I tell everybody, I show everybody everything that I can, like, and I'll tell them, like, I'll be upfront. I'm like, I don't really use this. I said, but that don't mean you might not like it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not going to show, I've heard of people doing that. Like, you only show what you like. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to show them everything. Well, one, I want to show them everything so they know how to defend it. If they never
Right.
see something, they don't know what's coming and they can't defend it. That's number one. And number two, I want
Yeah.
to show everything because, like I said, everybody's different. You can go different paths on it. And so if I show everything, all the technique I can, and they can grist, oh, I like this little piece. That's great. One of my guys, he's, um, we got guys that, great guard players. We got one guy, he loves half guard like I do. I like half guard. I like the control of it. You know, uh, uh, my last match, I actually won with Americana from half guard. I was in top half and hit, and I listened back on the video and like, is he going to do it from half guard? I'm thinking, yeah, because I got control.
Yeah.
He can't
I
get away
got it.
from me. It's just part of that. As I say, little guy jujitsu on my side. Like if I get to the side, he can move around. But if I get on top and I can drop my weight and drop my hips in his hips, and he ain't go nowhere. He's got to carry me around with him when he goes somewhere. So, but yeah, but that one there was the worst feeling I've had, like rolling, like competing or something like that. Because I caught Americana and he kind of defended. I let go because I always like, I'm not gonna burn my arms out. I ain't gonna do it. And then I caught him again. When I did, it popped like 3 times in my hands. I felt it. It's like pop, pop, pop. And I'm like, if you watch the video of it, I'm like, and I just throw my hands up and like he hits me in my back because he's so mad at himself or whatever. My student's like, hey, he hit you. I'm like, it's okay. The referees, one of my longtime training partners, is like, if he attacked me, he would get to him before y'all would.
Right.
He throw him across the room, I ain't worried about it, but he didn't do it in spite. He was just, frustrated with the moment. But yeah, it was. But feeling that arm pop like it did in my hands, it was just icky feeling. It was just really icky feeling. I didn't want to do that. I was hoping he'd tap, but he did tap. It just took a little extra.
just a little.
Just a little extra.
Oh man. Okay, Ricky. We at the part where we ask everybody who comes on the show, man, past or present, your top 3 people you would love to get a chance to roll with. But being in the game for so long, I know you probably roll with a lot of people, but
yeah, I've got to. I've been really blessed. Like I got to. I've rolled with like Luis Claudia up in Chicago. He's a Hickson black belt. Ben Rothwell's coach and Juliana Pena's coach and all that. LCCT. Yeah, I had fun. He had one of his brand new black belts down one time. I rolled with him and we rode all the way across that mat. Then I rolled with Louise and he was just kind of playing with me and stuff. It was fun, I guess number one had to be Hickson. I know Hickson would fucking rip me in half, but even at his age now, but just feeling the master right there, just that'd be awesome. It's just Hickson would be awesome. That'd be a dream come true. A friend of mine's got pictures with Hickson and stuff. I'm kind of jealous of him. Let me think. Henzo's another one. Henzo Gracie I like because Henzo was he was kind of a pioneer. It'd be cool because he was one of the pioneers of actually trying to bring stuff together. And actually do not just jiu-jitsu. If you look back in his history, like of like the MMA side, he was trying to. He knew he just didn't need just jiu-jitsu. He had to add a little extra, but and he's funny and crazy. Like when he was on Twitter, I don't know if you remember this, when he was on Twitter, tweeting when he was about to get he's about to get mugged, whatever. There's two guys following him. They're going to jump on him. And he was tweeting like, yeah, they're getting closer. This is going to be good. And he was sitting there tweeting about it. And then like he beat the hell out of both of them. You know, they grabbed hold of the wrong person at the wrong place. And I don't think, who else would it be? I guess Grandmaster Elliot would be cool, you know, if he's still around, that'd be cool, you know. For being a small guy like he was and using that jujitsu, you know, he was still rolling in his 90s and stuff. That was always amazing to me. That's what I tell like people like we got guys that start a little older. I'm like, my friend Ralph, he started 62, you know, and he's like 68 now. I think he still competes, he has purple belt, and I said age is a number with jujitsu. You know, if you had the right training partners, the right mentality,
yeah,
you can you know, hey, you don't want to roll hard with the, you know, the 19 spasmatic, you know, brand new white belt. No, you had to kind of stay away from them a little bit, let them get some little knowledge. But you know, if you train with the right partners, you can roll all the way up until, you know, until you're gone. Really, you know, it's amazing. That's the amazing part of it. You know, I like to stand up. I said I started karate. I've trained. I've been blessed in my life. I've trained with I've trained with Krav Maga black belts. I've trained with pro boxers. I've trained with, you know, a little bit of everybody at some time or another. And I tell everybody I stole pieces from everybody. I stole little pieces of everybody's technique of everything I've ever tried, you know, but
yeah,
it, you know, but I love to stand up, but I know it's going to get to a point where I don't need to be getting punched in the head, and probably there now, but I'm still stubborn right now. I was boxing with one of my heavyweights Monday night, and he was like, all right, Ricky, let's go. Like last 30 seconds, like, all right. And he hit me hard. I'm like, okay. And we just went to swinging on each other for 30 seconds at the end of the round. I just kept on hitting him. He's 6'4", 275 pounds, and you know, and I'm just body shotting him, brah, just to get him hell. And he's just swinging bombs on me, and I'm trying to block, and he's trying to block. But I'll still do that. It's fun. It's fun to do. But I know I can't do it, you know, forever. But jiu-jitsu wise, if I stay smart and do it right, I can keep on, you know, barring any major injury. You know, I'm, you know, you're always going to be hurt a little bit, especially doing this. You're going to be tweaked, your shoulder, your neck. I mean, something's going to be ain't perfect, but so, you know, I'm a solid 65% right now. I'm great. I'm doing
right. I'm in pain as we speak. Like my knee I keep shifting. Like my knees twitching on me. My shoulders are a little hurt. Elbows a little out of whack. But I'm done taped together.
Yeah. Sleepy time, Epsom salt. That's the key to.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
I tell everybody that it's sleepy time, Epsom salt. That's my go-to, especially if I can't move. It works. You'll pass out. I almost passed out in the tub last time. I was in there about 25 minutes just soaking, just laying there and just trying to, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta get up. I won't wake up in this damn tub if I don't get out of here.
Man, I got this little personal sauna, and I'll sit in there to kind of relax my muscles, and next thing you know, I'm like slumped over like this. And like, oh wait, it's happening. I'm like, why am I so cold all of a sudden? Like, yeah, you've been in there longer than the timer went off. The machine has shut down. It's time to get out. But
yeah, my next investment, I want to get a hot tub. I really do. I'll get the help recovery, but
yeah, I want to get a cold plunge so bad.
Yeah, I was looking at them the other day. They're not too terrible. You can get them barrels for like $160, or you can make something really. But you can get them kits, whatever. Like I've seen 160, 170. I think on Amazon, some of them
cold
plunge things where just, end of one person. I went to a
Yeah, 'cause
sauna down
I'm only the
in
person gonna use
Louisiana
it.
that had it. I seen one in down. I went to a sauna spa down there in Louisiana. It was all in combat. Was they they actually rented it where you could go in there, not rented the whole place, but they rented where you could go in there like for the fighters could cut weight, use their sauna and stuff like that. But they had the ice bath and they had a hot tub right beside it, and they had the sauna room. Like it was nice. It was set up pretty sweet, so you could jump out of one and into the other if you want to. And
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
yeah, it was
Love
pretty
that.
cool set up. It was. I said, I wish we had a place like that right up here. Probably do in Carville or something, but I'm sure it's high. More I want to
Yeah,
pay a month.
definitely. Well, all right, Ricky, man. Unless you got any other questions for me, fire away. If not, man, I would love for you to shout out your school, let the people know what you got coming up. The floor is all yours.
Oh man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on, and I'm glad we finally made this work. It's I think it's gone pretty good. I think we've had a great conversation for sure.
Oh yeah.
All Heart Jiu-Jitsu, allheartgym.com is our website. If you want to take a look and just look at us a little bit. Down here in San Antonio, Mississippi, we got we don't have a whole lot going. We got some tournaments. I just signed my name up for a jiu-jitsu super fight for maybe September. So we'll see if they get me an opponent. I might jump back in there and pull the dust off the old robe and give her a hell again. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I appreciate you. Like I said, appreciate you having me on, and this has been fun. It's been a great conversation. I'm glad we got to do this for sure.
Yeah, man. It was definitely worth the wait, man. Because it's like we were planning. It's like, can't do it today. It's like, it's gonna be late. So it's like, no, we're gonna whatever. We're gonna figure it out. So I'm definitely glad we did, man.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be for sure.
Definitely meant to be. Definitely meant to be. Well, that's it, man. That's I'd love to thank Ricky one more time for coming on the show and bless us with his jiu-jitsu knowledge. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you go and follow our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages to stay up to date on all future episodes. This has been Talk Your Jits podcast. Keep rolling, keep grinding, and remember, long live jiu-jitsu. Have a great day.